Oh, hi guys, sorry, just doing a little concentration face there. So the World Series, Episode 1, the World Series. So this was a nice little bonus on top of Series 10 we got. I actually saw all but the very last fight of this episode being filmed live. So I sort of knew everything that was going to happen, but as with the other fights in Series 10, it was great to see them actually being, actually on TV. I thought this whole episode was just brilliant. So we started off with that awesome four-way, Apollo and Gabriel versus Cobra and Tomahawk, which was just such a fun battle. It just had so many awesome points in it. We had that Tomahawk spin on Gabriel where it sort of grabbed the axe and flung it around over the flame pit. There was Apollo's sort of somersault flip on Tomahawk. Cobra really shoving into Apollo, leaving skid marks behind it as it just sort of wrestled it forward. Cobra being actually impaled by dead metal spikes that are on his back from Apollo flipping him. And I love that they still showed the GoPro shot but with the floor on top of dead metal's blade. That was cool. And sadly that was in sharp contrast to the second battle where it was over in just a few hits, which was a shame, but Dietor on fire, and especially seeing that live. That is Robot Wars bricks and mortar right there, and it was such a pleasure to see just that red and black fur just up in flames. Mwah, just gorgeous. But then it was made up by the next fight, which was superb. Sabretooth versus Cobra. What a good old sort of back and forward scrap. I love in the slow motion where you can see, obviously the robot's very slow moving around, but that drum is still absolutely zooming around even in the slow motion. And Gabriel is just losing his shit again, which is brilliant. It's good to see Sabretooth's gyro dance as well. I think throughout this whole episode there was a sense of because there was no main title at stake, they could just have a bit more fun, sort of play around, or dance around in this case. It's good to learn that Sabretooth can gyro over as well. I'm still pushing that. So Terahertz versus Tomahawk, that was quite a one-sided battle as it were, but no shame to Tomahawk because Terahertz is just ferocious. And I love that you could just see that the axe just getting more and more buckled on poor Tomahawk until it finally gave up the ghost and went. There are 3 really funny moments in the booth as well. One where the Tomahawk captain was just shut up, which was really funny.
Between him and the
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
The second where John Reed just suddenly went, what? Really high pitch.
Oh, the axe has come off. The axe is gone. Don't slide forward.
Right.
Yeah, the axe is...
And then the third. Okay, so I was by myself watching this, and yet when he finally said it, when John Reed said those beautiful words,
Wait for the good hit.
I just went, hey! Even though, like I say, by myself. Another weird John Reed bit in this was
Terahertz with John Reed, the veteran of the UK team. Some say he's related to King Arthur.
What is he, the fucking Stig? What? Some say he's related to King Arthur. All we know is he's John Reed, apparently. Then we had Rabid M8 and Gabriel fighting against each other. This was, as Dara quite rightly pointed out, quite a lot of just slapping on the floor. But it was interesting to sort of see 2 thwackbots having a go at each other. They didn't really show it that well on TV, but Shunt full-on forced Gabriel's sword through the plexiglass, which was, interesting. And the final battle was Dietor versus Apollo. And you could see Dietor just going straight for the pit to catch fire, instantly. No one even had to try, they could have just stood back. But I like that. I like that they then attacked Apollo while on fire. There's something just bizarre about that. I like just the psych out of just rah, just on fire. And Apollo got so close to flipping Sir Killalot. I reckon if you had the full tank at the start of the fight, that would have just gone. He would have gone over. So the main reason we need another series of Robot Wars is because that has to happen. That Apollo has to flip Killalot at some point. Funnily enough, when it cuts away to that shot of Apollo suddenly at the side of the arena, that was actually, they were told to stop attacking the house robots so they'd be disqualified, which I thought was a bit odd. I can understand why you wouldn't want a massive spinner attacking the house robots because they want them ready for the next fights or whatever, and that's a lot of damage. But a flipper, what's don't get me wrong, awesome weapons, but they're not gonna leave long-lasting damage, are they? I wouldn't have thought, but I don't know. Again, though, they got across that sense of just fun with this episode, because the stakes aren't quite as high, so they can just sort of muck around a bit and go for entertainment a bit more than the actual competition. So that fun vibe just, I think, was throughout the entire episode. I thought it was good to see, although Dietor was another robot just made to look like Dietor, as it were, it's still, they still did make it look like Dietor. Yeah, they went all out. And I like the addition to Rabbit M8 that seemed to have had like a metalhead theme, Pimp My Ride. It actually reminded me of my old BC Rich guitar. Just in that shape of those little horn bits. It was fantastic to see the old show actually acknowledged, you know, some actual clips in it and everything. That was really, I don't know, something very heartwarming about that. You know, I've watched on YouTube all the old series, you know, like however many times, and yet seeing it on the actual show, there was something just very like, I don't know, it was something a little bit magical about it. I think it's good, and that and acknowledging like the ant weights and the different weight classes and stuff. It's nice to see them actually sort of trying to open it up a bit more and, you know, encourage people into this sport. They even reference Chaos too. What, did you not notice that? I'll run the clip.
This battle is going to be chaos. 2 thwackbots.
Yeah, see? There was a really weird bit of editing halfway through where they were talking about Sabretooth, and there was 2 very short clips of Aftershock and Carbide.
Are you scared today with Sabretooth?
A little bit. Sabretooth's drum is very dangerous.
It looked like, you know, like a rough cut. Like, you know, like I would edit one of these videos and then watch back, you know, just before I save it and then be like, oh, I forgot about that bit, and then just cut it out. But it was still left in there. That was sort of very odd lack of attention to detail for one of these programs. I also really enjoyed the shot of the 2 captains trying not to laugh while obviously being forced to stare right into each other's faces. And you could just see the awkwardness there. It was beautiful. It's meant to look all, you know, like badass. And it's so beautifully awkward, and I like that. And lastly, if you remember my review of episode 1 of series 10, you remember me saying the voiceover, you know, spinner guy can only get weirder. And I was taking the piss, but oh my god, he managed it in this episode. Like I say, it just gets weirder. Another reason to have a series 11, I think. Overall, guys, like I say, I thought this episode was such good fun, and it was weird. I saw pretty much the whole thing filmed live. I tried to look at myself in the background of a few shots, because I think I was there when they were talking about the ant weights and stuff, but I can't see myself in this one. But hey ho. I've got some battles uploaded on my channel if you want to check them out. The one for the 2 thwackbots, I filmed with my slow-mo app, and then I was just messing around with it, and I sped it up, and it looked quite funny, you know, like this. And so I saved it and uploaded it. I accidentally deleted the original, so I don't actually have the proper footage of that battle, for which I apologise. But you can still check that out. Yeah, I'll see you next week for episode 2. Cheerio, guys. I just realised while editing that I didn't even mention the battle music. So I'm going to very professionally just put this on at the end. The battle music, it was cool because they've obviously been listening to the fans and stuff. I just wasn't too sure about it in this. I think I'll need more convincing. But the good thing about it being there is that it shows they're still like improving the show and continuing the show. So hopefully that's, you know, maybe an indicator that they are planning to do another series. We can but hope. Yeah, sorry, little tag on there. Thanks for watching.